Evening. So these are minimal sports stories which will get you only if you stick to sports fiesta. I am CJ, the maestro, and of course Ali Ibrahim, the sports Ibakaraba as always, and of course Elsa Ibeka, the sports maestro here with me. Good evening, guys, and welcome to the show. Okay, so let's start from the Sunday Dankara House. That's the headquarters of the Nigeria Football Federation. We understand that the NFF has asked Super Eagles coach Kenotro to do quickly reverse the huge shock and defeat suffered by Nigeria against the Central African Republic in Douala on Sunday. In fact, they are letting him know that, look, you have our support, but then you've got to ensure that you get victory against Central African Republic on Sunday. Well, president of the Nigeria Football Federation, and of course, FIFA Council member, talking about Mr. Majima Vipinik in a statement today, said that the Super Eagles have the character to bounce back from the 1-0 home defeat to the Central African Republic and still fly very high above other contenders in Group C in the African race for the World Cup. Before we quote Pini, because he said a couple of things that I'm sure you guys want to listen to. These were the things that Pinnick said today to douse the tension, sort of.
Well, they should have had the character not to lose. Seriously. In what character are we talking about? They have the character to bounce back and to win. Look, because of the way I followed the Super Eagles over the years, I had absolute faith that they were going to get 18 points from this group, which means that they were going to beat every team in that group home and away. Now, there's a possibility that you could lose, you know. It's football. Crazy things have happened. Real Madrid lost to Sheriff. Manchester United lost to Young Boys. But I never expected that Nigeria was going to lose to Central African Republic. Even if we lose, okay, maybe away from home, you know, and you can say, oh, the pitch was bad, the officiating was terrible, and what have you. But to lose at home, I don't know, look, they should not tell us anything. Losing, well, we didn't lose that much, but it felt like a loss against Sierra Leone when we were 4-0 up and it became 4-4. So because of that experience, that bitter experience which we had, the Super Eagles ought to have known, because some of them played in that match. So they should have known that it's possible that Central African Republic could beat us. I mean, if you've had that Sierra Leonean experience, you should have been mentally prepared for anything. And that would mean that you will step up your game and ensure that, no, you do not beat us. We don't lose to Central African Republic. Against Liberia, it was almost happening. It was almost the same thing. I mean, we got 2 goals.
Yeah, we're a bit lucky,
you know? Yeah. And then against Cape Verde, away from home, we saw what happened. Now they scored. We considered first. They scored against us first. Then there was an goal and Victor Osimhen scored. So it isn't like this is a one-off thing. This just happened out of the blue. No, the performances have been poor.
In the build-up to this one.
In the build-up, yeah, even from the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. Amadou Pinnick spoke to them. We played his inserts here, and people were like, why will he even go to the dressing room and talk to them that way? But
they needed it.
Apparently, yeah, he did the right thing. Then I said, look, I am not surprised, and I'm not going to say, why did Amadou Pinnick talk to them like that? He should not even have gone to the dressing room. It's the coach that should do that. But look, when they win and they are getting bonuses, doesn't he go to the dressing room and press them and say whatever? And he told them there that, look, we must go to Sierra Leone and beat them. And not just beat them, we must beat them 4-0. He said there is a reason for that. He wants that 4-0, the 4-0 that we had from the first half. We must get that 4-0 back. What happened? They went
as a barren draw.
Just a goalless draw. We had chances to score in that match, but we did not. And that match ended goalless. So it was a poor performance, both home and away, against Sierra Leone. Yeah, we beat was it Benin Republic also in that group, and we were able to top the group. And Genatro, as usual, qualified with a match to spare. Yeah, and we praised him to the high heavens and everything. So I thought that they would have learned from those issues that have happened in the past. But the first game against Liberia, we saw how we struggled. Then against Cape Verde, we went away, we got a win. But, you know, once you win, it's very difficult to criticize. Because no matter what you say, well, what do you want? Is it to play beautiful football or to win?
And maybe that's where the problem is, because the NFF always insists on the win. They never insist on how you get the win. Because if they've been saying, look, in the build up to this particular match, we don't like the way the Super Eagles are playing and getting the win, it will be a different matter. But they are always insisting on getting the win. You can look at what Majbin is already saying. He's talking about going to Cameroon to beat Central African Republic, and not the manner that will get the win.
The way it is now, look, honestly, I don't care. If they were half goal victory in football, let them just go and get the half goal and get 3 points. Because if we do not win that match, we may be gasping for breath in the final 2 games. Because Cape Verde are likely to beat Liberia, and they will have 7 points. And you still have to play Cape Verde here in Nigeria.
Yes.
And Cape Verde will feel, okay, if Central African Republic can come and beat you,
we can also do
the same thing. And so you will be struggling with when we saw the group Liberia and Cape Verde, Central African Republic.
So
I'm sure everybody concluded, even all our other opponents, they were like, oh, why didn't we get this? We looked at, there's a group that has 2 North Africans. I think is it Egypt and Libya in the same group?
Egypt and Libya.
Yeah. So when you look at that group, you say, oh, this is a bit tough. You have I think Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire in the same group.
Yes, and this is like the group of death also.
Yes, and I think there was also Ghana and South Africa in one group. We'll check. So Nigeria's group is the easiest. So what if we fail to qualify from this group? How are we going to explain it? So it's just really they should have the character to have won that match, and now that they've lost it, not just even playing it or losing to Central African Republic at home. I mean, it's just horrible. And from 1981 to now, that's 40 years, right? And we've had different Super Eagles teams, managed by expatriates, managed by Nigerian coaches, managed by different, and none of them has lost. So that's why this loss is so unacceptable to me. I understand that in football anything can happen in sports. You should not get too carried away, and some people have actually said that. I'm like you don't really understand what we are saying. It's not losing that is the issue. It is who you lost to and the manner in which you lost. If we have played so well, so fantastically well, that we had struck the post 5 times. There are times when a team will do everything, play the best football, and eventually the opposing team wins the encounter. It happens. There was one game I watched many years back. Then Gary Speed was still at Baltimore. I think it was Baltimore versus Manchester City. Manchester City dominated, absolute domination. Hit the post, I think, like 5 times in that encounter. Baltimore got 1 chance, which was even a penalty, and it was Gary Speed that stepped up and he scored, and that was it. That was the end of the match. They won 1-0. So if that were what we saw yesterday, it will be still difficult to take, but you feel okay, it just wasn't our day. But we saw our play yesterday. It was nothing to write home about. You couldn't really say, oh, we played well, we're just unlucky not to win the match. And that's what really rankles with some of us.
Well, I think the race to the 2018 World Cup, the group we were in, was much more difficult than this, and we saw how we treated that group, how we came out from that group. But right now, I think overconfidence is affecting the Eagles, and they are looking at their opponents as minnows that we can overrun them and get all the 18 points. Now it will dawn on them that the fact that they failed to win in Sierra Leone, the return leg, after playing for the Bermuda Stadium, it could still happen this time, because lastly home-based players that came here has shocked them. The guy that scored the only goal played in the French 4th division, Hebias. 4th division, where you have established superstars in the Super Eagles, earning mega bucks and all that. Yeah. Even when it comes to getting payment from the Nigerian Football Federation, they earn mega bucks. Then at the end of the day, you have that kind of shameful display, and now you are saying you have the character to go away. Who's telling them that the guys at Central Africa, they don't have the character to do a double? Come on, they should sit up. If not, I think Nigerians are tired of permutations. Honestly, it's high time we do the needful and leave a permutation. So for me, if they fail to come out from this group, as the giants that we call them, come on, nobody will take Nigeria serious anymore.
All right. Now, Bidik said this result has been a huge shock, especially after the NFF provided everything necessary to make the team comfortable and focus on the task at hand, even going the extra mile in a number of areas. The Federation wishes to appreciate the federal government, the Lagos State government, and our partners and sponsors for their support to enable us provide the necessary comfort and conducive environment for the team to succeed. This is a setback which can be quickly reversed, and the Nigerian spirit is what we will take to Cameroon. The NFF is backing the team to retain a strong hold on the group and qualify to the knockout phase. At the halfway mark of this phase, our Super Eagles still top the group. I'm in touch with even the players that are injured, like Wilfred Ndidi, Oganaka Retebo, and Alex Iwobi. They are all very sad with the results. The players who featured in today's match are all very sober and sad. They know what is important now is their reaction to the situation when they take to the pitch in Douala on Sunday. We believe they will deliver against the same team. Pidik also went on to say, everyone is stunned, but we do not have to be emotional or negative about things. The same team defeated Liberia in Lagos and Cape Verde away. They still have that ability to deliver. As a football federation, we take responsibility for this defeat. We believe things will change positively in 3 days' time. We also believe that this loss is a massive wake-up call and could be the springboard to reset and motivate the team to keep giving their all to not only qualify for the World Cup, but to perform well in Qatar. Quickly, let's also look at the fact that for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, because there's been a lot of talks about the way we should play our football. Yesterday, we saw the Central African Republic team. They came into the game with a plan. They knew what they wanted to do. They knew that these guys were better than us. Yeah. There's no how we can't match them player for player. What we need to do is soak up the pressure underneath on the counter. It was clear. But yesterday, I looked at the team, I looked at the Super Eagles, and I told myself, look, this team, there's no defined way. There's no way you look at this one and say, this is the way they are playing, or this is how they are playing. We had a couple of disjointed moves, and we're depending on individual brilliance here and there. But people are making the excuses that, look, this is a qualifier that you're allowed to play anyhow you like, and then qualify, and then when you get to the main tournament,
that you may say, okay, they could play anyhow. A qualifier is a serious affair, because if you do not qualify, I mean, you are not going to appear at the major competition. In this case, we're talking about the biggest football competition in the world, arguably the biggest single sports activity in the entire history of sports on planet Earth. And we are not playing well in the qualifiers. You've got to play well in the qualifiers, because if you do not buy the tickets, you cannot win the lottery. You have to first qualify for the final round before you even dream of going to the World Cup. So when we saw the draw, we thought, okay, this was an easy group, we're going to win everything. And we now are seeing that our team is not playing well. So Nigerians have got every right to be upset with what is happening. So really, we've got to do something drastic about it. We've got to change. I understand what you are saying, and I too wondered what was happening, because I didn't see any clear pattern. I didn't see what we were doing. As I said, there are times when you could play well, dominate the game and everything, and you still you are unlucky and you fail to win the match. It happens, but it should happen rarely. Not that you play one game and you dominate and you fail to win. You play the next one, you dominate, you fail to win. You play the third one, you dominate, you fail to win. Come on, that then it's no longer that you were unlucky. It's just that there's something that you are doing wrong. Which you need to correct. So yesterday, I did not see anything. The only excuse could be, okay, some of the players were playing together for the first time. But for God's sake, these guys are professional footballers. Football is a universal language. There are things that you are supposed to know. You've played in different systems. We played with three at the back at the World Cup.
A coach can even change the formation 3 times.
In the match against Iceland. Yes, in the same, our first match against Croatia, which we lost 2-0. Yeah. We played with a back four. But then people started complaining that the thing didn't work, and that's why Croatia beat us 2-0. And then they had to appeal to John Mikelobi to drop back and play as a defensive midfielder. All the years that Mikel was playing for Nigeria, he would play as a defensive midfielder at Chelsea, then come to the Super Eagles, and he's our creative midfielder, he's the number 10. But that match they appealed to him, and I was wondering why are they appealing? They said they had to beg John Mikelobi, they had to beg Victor Moses, who comes to Nigeria and plays as a winger, but as at Chelsea, he was playing as a wing back. As a right wing back, and they had to beg both of them to play this position. We played with three at the back, and it worked. We won against Iceland. We tried the same thing against Argentina. Maybe with proper game management, we should have been able to qualify for the round of 16, but unfortunately, we failed to. But yesterday, I did not see that. I did not see the players even trying anything. They were just, due apologies to all of them, but our wingers were just running about like headless chickens. The passes that they were all the other the midfielders were trying to string together was not happening. Everything was just so poor. It isn't a case like a situation like, okay, we played so well, but Central African Republic were resolute in their defense, and that's why we lost.
We didn't just do enough.
The game. We didn't do much. We didn't do anything. We didn't even really take the game to them. Let us try and break them down and whatever. If a team is playing a low block, there are different ways that you can
break them down.
Try and break them down. You've got Chidera Ejuke. You've got Samuel Kwalu. You've got pacey wingers. You've got creative players. You've got if that fails, then you could go route one.
We even started with route one
a couple of times. What did they do to us? Was it not route one? They just lobbed the ball, and our central defenders were hitting themselves and falling over themselves. And as I said, if not for Francis Uzoho, they will have scored, because there was a clear chance for them to score, but Francis Uzoho pulled off a fantastic save, and there was the other time that they had the ball in the net, but unfortunately for them it was offside. Gennett Ross should go back. I think Gennett Ross' best outing as the coach of the Super Eagles would be in the qualifiers for the 2018 World Cup. That was in 2017 when we played against Cameroon and we beat them 4-0 here. Even the return leg, that match, in my opinion, we won because we already scored, but somehow they manufactured the penalty and gave to Cameroon, and that match ended 1-1. You know, so that was I don't know what he was doing then at that the build up to that World Cup. We had the most difficult group. We were in the toughest group. We had Cameroon in our group. We had Algeria in our group. We had Zambia in our group. Every team in that group was an African champion. That was the top. And when we saw that, we were like, oh my God, will Nigeria qualify from this group? Especially when you have to play Cameroon home and away, you have to play Zambia home and away, you have to play Algeria home and away. But we won all our matches. We even defeated Zambia away. Algeria, it was 1-1, but the letter said we used, and that was even the last game. It was inconsequential. And we went to Cameroon, and it was also 1-1 in Cameroon. We beat Algeria 3-1 here. Beat Cameroon 4-0 here. Beat Zambia, was it 2-0 or 2-1? But you saw how we played. So Gennett Ross should go back. I don't know the kind of Nigerian food he was eating then, or whatever he was doing. He should go back to that time.
Since you is not in the conversation, because there are talks now about Nigeria Super Eagles going back to you. In the past, has mentioned that I don't like all this traveling up and down. We should just, go to and stay there. He loves it there. He says the players, they love it there too.
Okay, the players love Uyo, but have we not lost in Uyo? Was not Uyo that they lost to South Africa? So what are they talking about? I mean, if you as a Nigerian team, you are complaining of they are traveling to different places. How about the team that doesn't play, that does not know Nigeria, or maybe they've just been here once or twice, and they are coming and they are beating you in your home patch? So it makes no sense. I agree. I have always said, look, the Super Eagles should go back to their spiritual home, which to me is the National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos. We saw a bit of that from the fans at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, but those guys were mild. They were nice guys. Yeah, they just booed them a bit, and then they were praising the Central African Republic. The Lagos House of Gold, it will start after 25 minutes. If not scored in the first half, that's when those guys, they waited till at the time they were even saying, give us one goal. When it was like 10 minutes to the end of the game, the Lagos fans of old will demand that from the first minutes. They will be telling you they want you to score, and if you do not score, they will just turn against you. But as I've said, because I've been there, I've witnessed it. It's like reverse psychology. They are doing it, not that of course they do not hate Nigeria. They do not actually want to praise the other team, but they just want you to wake up. And the moment you start playing well, they will switch immediately and start supporting you again. So I hope that they will fix the National Stadium in Lagos, so that we can go there and make it again our home base. That's where we are supposed to play. Then when you have friendly matches, because of course every geopolitical zone in the country deserves to also see the Super Eagles once in a while. So maybe when there are friendly matches, you can be moving the friendly games. When the home friendly matches, you move them about. But when it is the crunch qualifiers, or you could even say, okay, African Nation Cup qualifiers, we play them in Abuja. But World Cup qualifiers, the most important games, you play them at the National Stadium, Lagos. And if there are some other big games that you want, okay, play it at the Gospel Akpabio Stadium in Oyo.
All right, this is Sports Fiesta here on K92.7 FM. Let's go for this break. When we come back, the show will continue. Stay right here.
Hello, entrepreneurs, business owners, and organizations. KUFM 92.7 has an impressive and constantly expanding number of followers online. You can now advertise your goods and services on KUFM's social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Take advantage of our online presence and reach out to our growing audience at very affordable rates. Call 0703 109 4612 or 0806 530 5657 or 0802 232 7191 or visit our marketing office, top floor, Enterprise Foundation Building, number 62, Ihama Road, GRA, Benin City. KUFM, your business growth partner.
The way when my customers they take they enjoy this Checkers custard and since I open shop today now so Checkers custard and just they ask me,
Madam, summer me one big container of that your Checkers custard because the way when my picking them they lick place every time I give them it they torture me for body.
Yeah, mommy don't buy Checkers custard again. CHECKERS Checkers custard.
Checkers custard or we no get rival.
Checkers custard. Now this one be custard.
Milo!
Hello, give me Milo please. 2 sachets.
Okay, oh. Are you sure you don't want to try something else?
This something else, does it have Active Go?
Active K.
Active Go, that mix of Protomalt, minerals and vitamins.
Proto what?
Look, it's okay. Just give me my Milo because things that I buy for my kids, I don't compromise one bit.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go with the goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use comfort?
No dear, na home for teeth they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
We've had many battles, we have won some wars, but in all our struggles, we have lost loved ones. It may be cloudy outside, but not for very long. We will surely see the sun, 'cause we know no matter the weather, no matter the tide, we go there together. We stand by your side. No yawa, no problem. Go fit stand to fight us. We go stand together. We go beat them down.
Extra 10% extra. Your healthy Kellogg's breakfast has got extra 10% extra. Just the Kellogg's sachet now 90 naira.
That's right. Now stay active and alert with the new and bigger Kellogg's 90 naira packs. Your favorite Kellogg's Cocoa Pops, Moon and Stars, and Corn Flakes is now available in 90 naira with 10% extra introductory offer. Go grab it now.
Breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
Alright, this is Sports Fiesta here on K92.7 FM. I am CJ, the Maestro. Go to Salih Ibrahim, the Sports Ibrahim, as well as Eosai Bika, the Sports Maestro. It's the Friday evening edition of Sports Fiesta. Let's get on with the show to talk about the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari. Today, he inaugurated 29 board of sports federations to pilot the affairs of the various federations here in Nigeria for the next 4 years. Well, the event kicked off by 11 a.m. this morning, and it of course saw all the board members of the 29 federations present at the VIP lounge Masjid Abiola Stadium right there in Abuja. The 29 sports includes table tennis, taekwondo, boxing, judo, tennis, chess, karate, Scrabble, swimming, cycling, to mention but a few. All right, on the foreign football scene, well, Manchester United forward Cristiano Ronaldo has been named Premier League Player of the Month for September. I'm sure Osa is not surprised about this one.
Well, I'm not surprised. He has won it 4 times before he left the English Premier League. So coming back to win it the 5th time, I think he deserved it, honestly, because though many expected him to hit the ground running on his return to Manchester United, and he did not disappoint. So at some point, he was the one shouldering the responsibility of Manchester United when others are, not giving their best. So for me, I think it's well deserved for Ronaldo, and for Arteta, where I think I would say this one is a nice one for him. But Arsenal fans, they will still call and say this is not what we want. They want Arsenal to be among the top 4, fighting for titles and not fighting for the manager of the month. But all this, I think, is good because he was able to win 3 matches in September. So I think that those the tension that was, hovering all over Mikel Arteta. Arteta the way out. So many people were calling for his removal and all that. But having won that those 3 games in September, I think that also brought the tension down, and now he has been named manager. But I think this is a sign for him to do more so that he will win more manager of the month awards and also put Arsenal in the right place. Well,
Ronaldo scored about 5 goals in 6 appearances, including 3 goals in the league in September to win the award ahead of the likes of Joao Cancelo of Man City, Chelsea's Antonio Rudiger, Alan Saint-Maximin of Newcastle, Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah, and of course one forward Ismail Assar. Well, some persons are saying it should have gone to Mohamed Salah because I think they say he got the same number of goals in the league as Ronaldo as well in the month under review.
Yeah, but I think maybe they looked at the impact it had on the team. Mohamed Salah, yes, one of the best players at Liverpool, but then you look at some other players that are there. Sadio Mane is there. Look at Virgil van Dijk. If he isn't playing, even though Mohamed Salah is scoring goals, I mean, would they be as good as they are? Maybe they brought all of those things into consideration. But I believe that Salah will even still be in consideration in the month of October.
So if he continues like
I think because people are even calling him the best player in the world right now. I think some other things apart from just the number of goals. That's the impact that it had on the team when he came in his very first match. He was able to get a brace for them and help them to win. So you look at the impact of his goals, and I believe that's why they gave it to him. They could have given it to any other person. They could have given it to a defender who helped his team to keep clean sheets in that encounter. But I don't think many people will have begrudged Cristiano Ronaldo for winning the award. But I believe that the other players need to step up. He's showing an example by always being there, always trying to make things happen at the club. It's something that he has done all his life. He's got a big game mentality and always shows up at crucial times. So we'll see how he continues. For Mikel Arteta, of course, absolutely. I mean, he won 3 matches, and in those 3 matches, he did not concede. His team did not concede. They won each of those. Okay, no, they conceded against Tottenham Hotspur, but they won it 3-1.
Yeah,
so
North London.
Yeah. So it was good for him, but unfortunately, immediately after winning that 3rd consecutive match, he then went and played out a goalless draw with Brighton and Hove Albion. And these are not teams that you expect. Of the teams that they even won against, it was only maybe Tottenham Hotspur that you say, okay, this looks like a big scout. The other was Burnley.
Norwich City.
Yeah, and Norwich. I mean, those are the matches that they won. But they all count. 3 points against a win against Norwich gives you 3 points. It's not 2 points. It's not 1 point. A win against Manchester City or Chelsea gives you 3 points, not 6 points or 7 points. So you've got to look at that and say, well done. But I'm just looking at their how well they will play going forward, because the very next game was against Brighton and Hove Albion, and they were unable to win that. So the fans, I don't know, they will not be too pleased, because they lost the first 3 matches, then won the next 3, and now I don't know what that will be.
11th now on the log. I'm sure they want to move up.
They drew the 7th, so I don't know whether it will be draw. As we had lost, then win, and the first one was a draw. I hope that they'll perform much better than they are doing at the moment.
Well, September's goal of the month award went to Everton midfielder Andros Townsend for his spectacular long-range effort against Burnley. Well, remember that his team, I think they won that game 3-1, and he scored a superb 25-yard goal to help his team win at the Goodison Park on September 13.
Yeah, that was great. And they also revealed after scoring the goal that it was his mom who helped him to get back to his rhythm after sending him the video of his best goals. So after some time, after having deep inform and all that, the mom had to do that, and after watching those things, and he just tried that out, and it was hoop, and he gave credit to the mother. So for me, I think it was a beautiful goal, honestly.
Okay, let's go to Barcelona. Barcelona president Joan Laporta says he hoped Lionel Messi would stay at the club and play for free.
He was hoping. After slashing
there was disappointment on both ends. That
after reducing to 50%, he was hoping for free.
To play for
Come
free.
on, he's got family.
For goodness sake,
there's nobody that will do that. But maybe if they had come to a compromise and they had told Lionel Messi, I think he loves the club. If they had said, okay, can you help us out? We want you to stay, but you see, we cannot afford to have you now, because if we do, it's going to create problems for us in future. So maybe can you play for 1 season for free? Lionel Messi, if he doesn't earn a dime for the rest of his life, he's not going to be poor. So, and if he had to do that for Barcelona, I'm sure he would have. But Messi, if you listen to him, said he did everything to ensure that he stayed, but apparently some people were just messing with him, and that's why he decided that the decision was even taken away from him, because they just told him it's not possible for us to resign you, and his contract had expired. So I'm guessing it's because he wanted to leave the previous summer. So they knew what they were doing. They absolutely knew what they were doing. Otherwise, they would have tied him that time that they were getting him, refusing to sell him, wanting him to stay until the end of the season. That's when they ought to have renewed his contract. You look at PSG and what they will do with Kylian Mbappe. They will not wait until Kylian Mbappe's contract has expired. Then that's when they will now be telling you, oh, we wish you could have stayed with us. No, they will try and resolve it now and get him to extend his contract. And because they did not extend Lionel Messi's contract, I am assuming that they knew that they were not going to extend it. So that's why they just wanted to milk him, use him until the end of that season, and then let him go. You can't tell a man that you should play for free. He is in he plays football. Yeah, he loves football, but he also plays football because that is his profession. Yeah, and even if we know that he doesn't really the money, not that he doesn't need the money, but if he can afford to say, okay, I'm going to give my money to charity for one season, it's not going to kill him. Oguchi Onyewu, yes, at AC Milan, when he was injured one time, AC Milan, he was out for over a year, and AC Milan paid him his full salaries for that period that he was out. And when he recovered, played for AC Milan for 1 year and said, look, don't pay me for one season. I appreciate what you did for me. So, and of course, he's still, I'm sure he's very comfortable financially. So, Lionel Messi, who of course has consistently been one of the highest earners in world football, could very easily have done that. But I am not, they didn't put that proposal to him. He would have stayed. If they had told him, play for us for a season for free, he will have stayed. So he shouldn't even be talking about this now. He was the one that told us that if they had kept Lionel Messi, it will have ruined the club. The next 50 years they will not have recovered. Now he's saying something else.
Okay, let's go to the Formula One. This weekend is the Turkish Grand Prix, but then Lewis Hamilton will have a 10-place grid penalty at Sunday's Turkish Grand Prix because apparently he changed the component inside his engine. The difference between what is happening to him now and that of Max Verstappen is that it was the engine of Max Verstappen's car that Red Bull changed, but then for Lewis Hamilton it was just a part of the engine that got off, so he's going to have a 10-place penalty.
He did the same thing. That is the fourth engine change, that the fourth part of his fourth time that he's changing something in his engine, and you are not supposed to do that. And that's almost the same thing that happened with Max Verstappen. I remember Max Verstappen started back of the grid because he changed his engine, and Ferrari, they gambled on it, and then they said, Red Bull, they just felt that okay, since he is already going to face some penalty, that's I'm talking about Max Verstappen, that because of an offense that he committed, he was going to start, was it 5th or 6th on the grid? I think they got a 4th-place penalty. So if he had finished on pole, he would have started 4th. Yes, and if he had been 3rd, he would have started 7th, and so on. But they just felt, okay, since already he's going to face a punishment, let us just change the engine now, which means that he's going to start back of the grid. That's 20th, and he did that, and we saw it was a fantastic strategy because eventually he finished 2nd, even though he started back of the grid. He was going to finish 7th, but because of the rain and some other things, he eventually finished 2nd, and he's just 2 points behind Lewis Hamilton, having been 5 points ahead of him going into that race. So Mercedes, they know that, and I think after this there will be maybe 4 races left, so they know that Lewis Hamilton might have to change the engine before the end of the season in order to have an engine breakdown. So they decided to, let us have it now. Max Verstappen had the last race, so let us have our own now. And I think that we've had 2 practice sessions, and Lewis Hamilton had been faster. You could see that the engine, the change in that engine is even giving him that extra bit of pace, and I don't know whether he will finish on pole, but whatever it is, he's going to be starting 10th. So it will be good for him if Max Verstappen doesn't make pole, so that he can find his way. And now that their engine is, both of them, they have brand new engines, and we'll see what happens in the final few races. And it's because they know that there are just a few races left, and Max Verstappen has had his engine changed. So they do not want Lewis Hamilton to be at a disadvantage. I'm sure if he were like 25 points ahead of Max Verstappen, they will not bother making this 4th change. They will just say, okay, let us go to the end of the season. But they know that it's going to be really tough in the running, and that's why they are trying to give Lewis Hamilton as much advantage as they can. And that's why now, no matter what he does, he's going to be starting 10th on the grid.
But not the worst punishment in the Formula 1. We've seen Lewis Hamilton start from the last position.
I've seen him start 20th, and he eventually won.
He did well. So it's not a new thing to him. He knows how to drive his way through difficulties. But then before we take your course, let's go through the fixtures of matches for this evening. Okay, let's look at the UEFA qualification for the first round, Group E. Czech Republic will play against Wales, Estonia versus Belarus. In Group G, Gibraltar will be up against Montenegro, while for Latvia, they'll play against the Netherlands. Turkey also versus Norway. For Group H, Cyprus up against Croatia. Malta versus Slovenia. Russia will host Slovakia. While for Group J, there's also a match. In fact, there are several matches here. Germany up against Romania. Iceland versus Armenia. And then for Liechtenstein, they will host North Macedonia. For Group A of the CAF qualification for the World Cup, Algeria will take on Niger Republic. Djibouti versus Burkina Faso. For Group D, Malawi up against Ivory Coast. Cameroon versus Mozambique. While for Group E, Angola will entertain Gabon. And of course, Egypt will face Libya. All right, let's get you talking. 070-6263-9275, 090-3939-4427. You can also call 081-2178-9154. Send a message to 080-7400-9076. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Sports Fiesta.
Good evening.
Danjuma, welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
Great to have you, Danjuma.
Good evening.
Good evening, Danjuma.
Super Eagles of Nigeria, they really disappoint me very well. And they really disappoint every Nigeria. As soon as I see token, it's no pattern when they play that match. They don't play with the interview. At least, when they complain about the NATO, now we think they complain about it because you don't watch the match. First up, you don't say the thing in the work. Second up, you take that to say they say the boy, they don't take that the defender, when they take 1 or 2 goals. And those times they say they call the news, so at least, if I say correct, they say, in case of something like this, you know, like this, so that the goal will come. I think we don't lose that match yesterday. The team, I was really disappointed yesterday when they lost that match. Because I thought the 2 matches they play back to back. Now 6 points, negotiable. The group A days for to just qualify, call the final. They say, we don't have better insurance to do the whole withdraw that match. Super Eagles call love. At the end of the day, FIFA want to give back now, they will carry a go back, we call the copy. FIFA ranking, you know how the people they work out. Sunday match, I don't know how they want to play. I know how they play and they happy because they already be disappointed. At this time, the time we play coach, the great coach at the NFL, they know what to do. They go leave Amanda finish the coach before they start on the attack and before finish the coach and they happy because the team is very cute and do well.
All right, Oliver, thank you. Yeah, good evening, welcome.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, Victor, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Ivan. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
For the Eagles, they have done it again. For me, still they wasn't surprised because if you look at their recent performances, someone like you be tempted to think that you just know that something that they are not going to get the win easy. I just saw that already because I knew that when they keep on playing the way they do, that something like a shock will come. Because that when they played Liberia, yes, we won, but you saw that they struggled to get those 2 goals. Even the way I stayed there, we almost did that match. We had to rely on one goal from the Cape Verde player to win that match. So I can't even remember the last time Nigeria actually played a fantastic football and gave us 3 points. It's really, I don't know. And the coach just told us that if indeed Iwobi, they're not Nigerians, the Tigers cannot win a match. They know that they miss Iwobi, they miss Ndidi. The other people, they were there to admire the pitch. So it's really bad. It's really bad. They should learn, they should just step up. And I see that recently they play better when they're in a tough group. So I think I prefer them being in a tougher group because they will take their matches seriously. And I would like to ask, I don't know, like in our group now, Central African Republic, they have to play their own matches in Cameroon. Yeah. But in Morocco's group, other teams playing their own matches in Morocco because they can't use their stadium. Why not other countries? So I feel it's giving this kind of massive advantage to Morocco.
Well, it's a matter of choice. It's you have to pick. If you cannot play your country, then you pick which other country that is convenient for your opponent to go to.
Okay, I thought CAF just for them to play there.
No, what they do is they pick and then CAF will approve. If CAF does not approve, there's no way they will go there. So if they feel like Morocco is fine for them, no problem.
Okay, no problem, Master. No problem. Thank you very much.
Victor, thank you. Good evening. Welcome. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
I can hear you. Go ahead. Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Osabuyi. I'm calling from Bidia Oshiro.
All right, somebody may go ahead. Osabuyi. Sorry, go ahead, please.
What I want to talk about is this Nigeria ball they play yesterday. Those people, it's like they are forcing them to play ball. It's NFF only there.
Even if they are winning them, does that mean they will not?
You know it's going to affect you. Don't come. Receive the invitation. Let those that are hungry come and play.
We are forcing them because the way that we are playing ball, the guy that plays there, whether he's side ball, I don't know. Look at the way he goes out.
Joe Aribo.
They are weight. They have a lot of weight. They don't play there. I don't know the kind of ball the players do. I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, welcome to Sports Fiesta. What's your name?
My name is James, first Angola.
All right. Yes, welcome to. Okay. Let's do the traditional thing for you.
Congratulations to Cristiano Ronaldo for the play of the month.
James, I was about to.
The last match he played, I heard the coach was giving. I mean to say the commentator was giving comment that Cristiano Ronaldo is supposed to be a coach on his own. So there is nothing Olugbala Sosa can tell him about football. So congratulations to him.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
James, I was about to welcome you to the KU family, but you didn't allow me to do that. Good evening, welcome. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, welcome. Final caller. Let's hear from you. What's your name?
I'm good, Friday. I'm calling from Mekema. Okay. My question is, I want to ask a question. This group, how many people are to qualify? How many teams?
It's just one. One will qualify
team
for the final round.
Okay. Once you qualify from this group, to another qualifying round again.
Yeah, to play the final round.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, welcome. We've got so many messages. We'll just start from maybe the first or the last one. Depends on you.
All right. Hello. Good day, Mr. Saliu Ibrahim. Yesterday you counted your chickens before they were hatched. A score of 4-0. Indeed, Madagascar and now Central African Republic. How now? Use your contacts to get Raw sacked with immediate effect. Thank you, Albert Ehigi. I don't use my contacts to do evil. I understand what it means. And by the way, what you expect. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying we should beat. Really, we should be beating South African Republic for it. The fact that we will not beat them does not mean.
We know those teams that are difficult for us here in Africa. It's not South African Republic.
Hi guys, how was your night? Not until we separate sentiment and politics from football. Football cannot move forward. Please, Oga Ibra is raw. All Nigeria could afford as a coach. This is Bros P, the only Chelsea legend in Sapele, now in Asaba. Well, maybe at that time he was the one that they could get, because the good pedigree did Raw.
You didn't even know him. Did you know him?
No, I actually knew him. He was a coach from Gabon.
What I meant was not too many Nigerians knew about him.
Yeah, but how many of us knew about Clemens Westerhoff when they appointed him? Did he not come here and became our greatest ever? So, no. Please, between Amaju Pinnick and Sunday Dare, who has more power? What are you saying? A country where things don't work, how do you expect the boys to win? We have players doing so well all over Europe. Gennett Raw should be fired. He's not a coach. He's scouting players. That's what he does, rather than coaching.
So
just like Ronald Koeman, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They are not tactically gifted, Mr. Ibrahim. Thanks for the advice earlier, or maybe I won't have been able to eat since yesterday. Thanks. I am Precious from Benin. Oh, okay, maybe
that's your advice. A few days ago, that you shouldn't take this thing serious.
Of course, don't kill yourself because of football. Okay. Yeah, but for who's more powerful? Sunday Dare is the Minister of Sports. Football is a sport. Football comes under.
It's more like a supervisor.
Of everything. Okay. But then football is the biggest. So it's like saying which is the world's biggest sporting spectacle. Is it the FIFA World Cup or is it the Olympics? So the question get as it be. Why them never sack the crew? Super Eagles is our team, but the coaching crew should go. This is from God Center. It says it's a disgrace to lose to a team like Central African Republic. Priya Okoro, I see your message, but I'm not going to use those words you use on the Super Eagles. In my opinion, Raw hasn't done so badly. Let's rally round him and wish the nation well instead of the constant criticism. Nigerian press is worse than the British. My brother, British press, you never see anything. You never see criticism. No. This one's.
They said England went out through the South Gate. That is
good evening, sports advocates. Coach Raw should always stop talking about players that are not available. He should admit his failure and his incompetence. As for the coach, Raw has nothing to offer Super Eagles and Nigerian football in general. My brothers, let us forget permutations for now about the weakest group in the World Cup qualifier. Let's face the reality on the football pitch. there are no minors in football any longer. Nigeria Super Eagles will still win the group and qualify for the World Cup. And now I disagree when people say there are no minors in football anymore. Even in this World Cup qualifier, we are seeing some teams
being
spanking others. You say there are no minors in football. Our Falconets, right? Played against Equatorial.
We had
played against
against
Central African Republic. That's telling them, look, we don't need the same match. Yes, this same. Yes, this same match day, Morocco beats Guinea-Bissau 5-0. 5-0. So what are we talking about?
Maybe you should have even used the Falconets.
Minus. Okay, this one says, is this the same Super Eagles we are banking on to win the Nations Cup in January 2022? Come on, let's just forget it. Teams in Africa are learning fast and catching up the big boys.
Why are we not catching up
with this current attitude defeats teams like Egypt, Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire, and Senegal? I am not optimistic at all. Yesterday, less than 3 shots on targets. I'm not happy at all. Mike from Benin. And when you see our players, I mean, you look at the quality of players that we have, you wonder how come we're having such a limited number of shots on target.
We'll just take one more.
My beloved comrades of the press of KUFM Sport, I enjoy the program at all times. I viewed the match. The defeat was a bitter pill to swallow. However, we will be top of the group and qualify. More grease to your elbows. Elder Thomas Iyamo, heavyweight boxing legend. Well, I pray so, sir, but honestly, from what I have seen, I'm not so confident as I was at the beginning, thinking, we will qualify and beat everybody home and away. Really.
All right, so that's
the match has ended earlier today. Cote d'Ivoire beating Malawi 3-0 away from home. Emphatic win.
Well, that's how you do it. Yeah. All right, so thank you.
And later we'll say there are no minutes in football. But Cote d'Ivoire went away and beat Malawi 3-0.
All right, Sally, thank you for your time on the show. Also thank you so much for being a part of the show this evening. For those that called in, those that sent in a message, thank you also for being a part of our world. Hopefully, Sports Fiesta will be back here tomorrow evening by 3:30 p.m. for the Saturday Sports Fiesta. Until then, I remain CJ the Maestro, signing out.
Mr. Challenger, beautiful advertisement. Thank you. But was he approved by APCON before exposure? APCON? APCON is the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, the federal government advertising regulatory authority that vets and approves all adverts before they are exposed on radio, TV, billboard, any medium. You mean it's the law? Yes, sir. APCON is backed up by the law to vet all adverts to ensure they are not in bad taste.